Hello. Oh my. So hello. Hi, I'm Macky Cosplay. I come from Belgium. Thank you for coming. I'm surprised to see so many people, actually. I'm going to do a workshop about cosplay acting, which is basically do your act on stage, which is something I love to do, and I do a lot. And yeah, those crazy pictures. Yeah, I love crazy pictures. So, how do you do a cosplay act? As stupid as it sounds, first you have to choose a character. But when I say choose a character, you have to choose a character that you actually like. Because I see so many cosplayers doing it for the fame, doing it for the hype and everything, but then, in my opinion, it shows on stage. Because when you actually do love the character, you have a more empowered on the character and the act itself, and you have more ideas, it comes more easily. So if it's your first time doing the act, I recommend truly to take the character that you love the most. Then you will have plenty ideas. And when you have plenty ideas, you stress a less more. All right? And as stupid as it sounds, again, you have to check the rules of the contest, because I had a bad thing happening to me once. I got selected for C4 finals, which was in the Netherlands. It's an international contest. And with my partner, we were going for Pirates of the Caribbean. We were so excited, we bought all the fabric, we started working on the costume, and then 3 months before the end, before the finals, we read on the rules, yeah, no live action. So we said like, okay, so we have to change our plan completely, and we went entire different thing 3 months before the finals, which means when it's the big comp, is not the best thing to do. But we still made it somehow with not a lot of sleep and a lot of coffee, but we still made it. And also when you check the rules, you can have the size of the stage, you can have also know if you can have a lot of props or no, the weight of the props, especially when it's international competition, he knows. And because sometimes you have restriction on how many props you can take and how much does you weight and some stuff like that. You can also check if you can use liquid on stage, because some convention allows that, some not. And if they allow that, that's a whole range of new things you can do on stage when you can use liquids and stuff like that. So it will be really silly and really sad if for some stupid reason you cannot go on stage because you didn't just read a few pages of paper, all right? And also, like, for example, you can know the length of your act. For example, when you go to China, it's 15 minutes you can have on stage, and when you go to other countries, it's only like 1.5 minutes or something. So it's really important to know how long you can make your act. The act idea. I have to check my notes for that, because I have a lot to say. Okay. What the main thing I would say is, like, people come up to me and say, okay, I have an idea. I want to do this character on stage, but I have no idea what to do. And I don't know how to find an idea and everything. And the first thing I say to them, so you choose this character. Why did you choose this character? And your act should answer that question. I chose this character because it's super badass. Then do a badass act to show that. I chose this character because I really like that scene in that movie. Then reenact that scene from that movie. It's easy as that. If you choose this character, you have to show why you choose it and show how cool your character is. Because in the audience, you might discover your series or your anime by your act. So you want people to actually make it love and everything. Which is the best feeling in the world when someone came up to me after doing some act and say, I don't know the thing, but I really love it. What is it? Where I can watch it and everything? And I'm like, oh, cool, yeah. I'm going to show you. This is a great thing. So yeah, this is the best question you have to remember if you want to have an idea about the act. Okay, then now you have your idea. It's like, okay, I'm going to do that. So how to build your act? There is kind of a few easy steps. So the first one is like to make sure the audience will understand your idea. It's like, okay, I want to do this act, but you have to remember that not everybody knows the series. Not everybody have played the game. Not everybody have watched the movie. So you have to make an act that is understandable for anybody. And a good way to think about an idea like that is like, okay, so if I do this act in front of my grandma, if she will get a story out of it, she will understand it or not. Because you don't have like to explain the whole plot in like 1 minute, which is always kind of boring and everything. You just have to make sure that the people know who is this character, what he's doing on stage, and like have a basic story. Just like a porno, you know, basic story. You don't have to make a lot of story, but just to make sure that it's working. So yeah, do not assume that the people know the character of the franchise. So not because you're doing a big franchise like Legend of Zelda or something, do not assume that everybody knows about it, because I can guarantee you there's a people who don't know the big basic thing. Like, I have a friend that if you tell her, I am your father, she has no idea what you're talking about, which is a big thing. So do not assume people know that, especially when you're in front of judges. Also, when I build for idea, I like to rediscover my game, my anime, my movie, so which means that, yeah, come in, welcome. I'm not gonna murder you, I promise. When I like build my act, I like to replay the game, rewatch the series or anything like that. And for example, I give a really easy example. When I want to do a Disney character, which doesn't happen a lot, but what I want to do is like, I go to YouTube and I go watch the whole different version that people have made of one song or something. Because I have a good example of that in the video at the end of the thing. I have a question. Like, I have YouTube videos. Is gonna play at some point? Maybe? All right. Yes? All right. So, for example, I have a group of friends that teach Peter Pan, and they use Katy Perry's song on the Peter Pan skit, which was so well done. So that's when I say rediscover your game or anime. And sometimes when you rewatch a movie after not seeing for a long time, you rediscover something. It's like, oh, I can use this for my act and everything. So take time to really just fall in love again for the character you love. So brainstorm, draw, make a list. It's like when you have ideas, when you try to brainstorm, for me, at least, it's like really going everywhere in my head. So I like to put all the ideas on paper so I can actually see what I'm thinking. Yeah, because there's a lot happening here. And making lists, making like, with other people, like, I have this idea, do you think it will work? And then they'll have other opinion. And the last point is trust your ideas and capacities. Because there is a lot of people that are like, yeah, I want to do that on stage, but I'm not sure that people will like it, or I'm not sure I can do it. It's like, yes, you can. If you think about it, that means you can make it. If you had the idea, that means you can make it. So really trust yourself, because if you go all out, you will never fail. Even though your act doesn't go as planned and everything, if you play your character really all out, people will think that if something went wrong, it was for a reason or something. So really, like, and when you go on stage, people do not see you as a person. They see the character. They see the people you impersonate. And if you break that, if you break that character by being too shy or not doing it all out, then they will see you, the person you are in. Will say, what is that girl doing on stage? But if you go all out, if you go like really crazy for Sweeney Todd, they will see Sweeney Todd, and that's it. So, a good thing. I have a chance binder and it's coming too. All right. Put your ideas into action. Yay, all right. So when you have the ideas, like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I have my ideas for an act, the cello, and now I'm gonna have to make it happen. So aim for the impossible. When I meant by that, it's like, when you have your idea, you have to dream for your dream act. Like, if you had every money in the world, every capacity in the world, saying like, oh, well, yeah, I would love to have like 3 dresses on and everything. And then slowly get back to your feet on earth and say, yeah, but 3 dresses, it's not possible. And flying, yeah, not possible either. So you try to find alternative. It's like when you have your dream act, it's your plan A, And the actual act you're going to have is the plan C, D, F, all the way to the Z, the actual plan. And this is how you're going to do. Because at the end, you will think, yeah, but that act could have been much more better if I had more money and everything. But the people who are going to see it will not know about that. They will see what you have prepared and everything. And one day, maybe, when you have more money or more time or more capacities, you will do your dream act. It's not because you're not doing it today that it will not ever happen. It will happen someday when you're ready for it. I want to say visualize, test, plan is actually like, okay, like if I put a LED in that teddy bear, for example, will it light up enough for the public to see? Then you do a test. If I want this piece to fall on the ground and break, will it happen? Then you try to do test. It's like when you're doing a costume, you're testing every time. You should put as much care you're putting in your costume in your act. Because I see so many costumes, like, really impressive, really awesome. And then they go on stage, and it's like, well, that's it. That's all you got. So it's like empowering. It's like you have to put back the play in cosplay. It's not just a costume. You have to play your character. You have to actually put a soul into it. It's like when you go to Disney, there is someone in the costume of Mickey acting out. You have to do the same. You have to put the soul in the costume you're wearing, which is what I love to do the most. Be aware of your cosplay. Which I mean by that is that you want to do a cartwheel or a flip, for example, but can you do that in your costume? Can you do that with your wig? Can you do that with the shoes you're wearing? And also, you want to move really quickly. Can you do that with your props? Can you do that with everything you have? Because sometimes I have idea for an act. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to run there and everything. And then when I put my costume on, I'm like, I can't even walk. How am I going to run over there? So have to be prepared and aware of that. It comes with time to know what your body can do in heels, what your body can do with a stress binder, what a body can do with, I don't know what crap you can wear when you wear a cosplay. Sometimes I wonder. But you have to be aware of that. Also, stage prop, you have to think, read the rules, and then have to think, okay, if this stage prop gonna... It's important also, like stage prop usually in contests are not like judge, like your costume is, but if they fell down, or if they are not stable enough, or if they break while putting on the stage, it's not good. A stage prop should be like strong enough to hold on itself and not break during the act. It should hold on the whole act, like your costume should. So be aware of that, and also be aware that your stage post must be carried by people from the con, so don't make it too heavy or too not stable enough, because they will hate you a lot. You can't tell. He's not listening. It's okay. Je te dirai après. So, also, like, if there are contests, can you use a screen? Can you have a light? Because, like, for international big contests, you can ask for lights effect, which can be a really plus for your act, like if you want a total blackout or anything. So really ask for that. Sometimes they do it like in little cons, but it's kind of rare because they have so many people they have to go through, so they can't do that for everybody. But when it comes to big finals, usually there are like lights plans you can ask for. And if there is a screen, you can also use it. And don't overuse it, because I saw so many people like putting stuff on the screen and do stuff on stage. Remember that if you put stuff on the screen, people might look on the screen and not look at you. So use it, for example, if you have to do something on stage that people should not watch, so they can watch the screen instead. Or if you, for example, doing act with singing, it's great to have the lyrics on the screen too, so people can understand the song better, especially if you want the people to understand the song because you rewrote the song or something like that. It's really useful. Just use what you have for you. Okay, and then you learn from your characters, faces, walk. What I mean by that is like, you have to learn how your character behaves. And the more you learn how he behaves, the more you learn how his face went. It's like if something wrong happened on stage, you're prepared for it because you will know how your character will react to that fucked up thing that happened on stage. From that, there is lots of ways to do it. You just watch a lot of video on YouTube. You just watch, if the character is like, for example, I don't know, a pirate or something, and you just watch some videos on YouTube of people acting like a pirate or something. And cool tips for people who cosplay a lot of video games or something, that you should watch a lot of video of motion capture, because there is a lot of backstage video of motion captures from video games character, and you can see the real actor who are doing the motion capture, walk and everything. So it's really useful. And also a thing that I love to do is like when I'm waiting for the bus or something, I like to watch how people walk. It's creepy as it is. It's so funny to watch how people walk because there is so funny walks happening. There is a lot of guys walking like this. There is so many walks, and then you just remember the walk and try to do it at home. If you're, for example, a girl and you want to do a boy, put a sock in your pants. That makes a whole difference. Like, because guys are used to walk with something between your legs, but we are not. So put socks in your pants so you will learn how to walk like a guy, because girls, when they walk, we walk with everything inside. Even when we pose, everything goes inward, inside. But a guy is like everything really outwards. The feet, the shoulders, and even the pelvis is like, yeah, I'm here, you know? This is how they walk. It's really, you should see, I see all the guys really self-conscious, like, this is how I walk? Really? But really, it takes a lot of time and a lot of, you will look like kind of funny if you look at people like, so try to do it discreetly. And ask for help if needed. Like if, for example, we want to do a dance thing, ask for someone who can dance. If you want to do some stage props and you want them to be sturdy, you can ask for help. I mean, stage props are not like judge or anything, so you can actually have someone build it with you. It's not like a costume, you have to do it alone, especially on cosplay contest. But for stage prop, you can actually ask for help. And also like, for walk, or if you want to, like the audio is so important, like ask for help from people who can actually speak really clearly and with a good English accent or something. It's really important, those kind of things. And also, like, if you want advice or help, you can send me a message on my Facebook page. I'm always, always, always glad to help. I just love act so much. So, prepare your act. Okay. Well, I was talking about that. Good audio. It is as much as important as your costume is to have a good audio. Because you are going on stage, you have an awesome act, but then the microphone is so bad, you cannot understand what's happening, or the music is cut really harshly. And so, for me, for example, I take really good importance of audio. I try to have every song on the same level, and there is so many tutorials on the internet for any kind of program of audio, so you can really easily learn and really make good audio. And it's not like that there is free programs, and also like good microphones are not really expensive. There are good microphones that are really not expensive. And also like sometimes the best way to record a voice is use a phone, because on phone microphone, they are like edited to actually reduce the noise as much as possible, because you have to hear it clearly, record someone. So most of the thing I record from my audio with my phone or something. So you really have everything handed. And then when you actually know how to use a program, you can actually clean the song a lot and the voice really easily. There is some way better tutorials that I can tell you how to work on the internet, so you can just have to find some. The size of the stage. Usually you find the size of the stage in the rule book, so you can know how much space you have to do your act, because this is really important when you have a big stage to use the max of it. Like, But don't like go on the stage like that and do your act like that all the time. It's not what I ask. But if you have a stage, just really take it all. It's for you for 2 minutes, 1 minute. Just take it all. It's just for you. So have fun on it. And also because if you are doing like, bye bye. Am I speaking like clearly? Because all right, all right. And also because if you are doing like dancing or if you are doing like fight or something, it is important to know how much space you have to do that. Because sometimes you are doing like, you have a really big space at home to rehearsal, and then on the day of the con, you arrive on the side of the stage, you're like, oh wow, okay, that's half of the space we had. How are we gonna do that? Talking about rehearsals, of course it's best to rehearsals in cosplay, but we all know rush. We all know we're never gonna make it to make a cosplay before the con. So we try as much as possible to at least rehearsal in some parts of the cosplay or with some substitute. For example, if you have a big spear, then you can rehearsal with a broom or something. Try to have a substitute to actually rehearsal with it. And if you have like a really weird shape prop, try maybe to start your cosplay by it, so you can rehearsal and continue your costume because you will have already that prop fixed. And also, it's important to rehearsal in cosplay because then you can see if everything holds on good and everything stays in place and everything is like you can actually move enough in it, because you don't want the costume to break out on stage. The D-Day, we know that, everybody. Record yourself. It's a good way to see if you, because every time, sometimes you think like, okay, I'm acting that okay, I think. I'm doing enough big moves. And then you see the video after that, and you're like, oh, okay, no, I'm not doing any big move. I need to be more. And so, also, it's also good to record yourself every time you're doing a rehearsal, because then you can see the progress from time to time, and also see what's the issue, and especially when you are doing in groups, because then you can see, oh, well, but we are not coordinated at that moment, and you are not doing like that part enough, you can actually do that better and everything. So record yourself is really important. I have so many tons of video when I am in pajamas with a broom, recording stuff, and just, I should like do a compilation of them one day, just pause there, just really fun. Ask for an internal point of view. So basically is that you just ask a friend to watch your rehearsals, or you just send the video to a friend. And especially if you're doing something that you're not like quite specialized in, and you send to a friend who knows about that, like dancing or fighting, and you can ask for feedback, because feedback is always important. And try to be open, because there are some people that give really bad feedback, like, oh, this is shit and everything. You have to step back, okay, but why is it shit? Can you tell me? Can you elaborate? And hopefully they will give you good advice. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now everybody is ready. It's time to do your act. It's my favorite part. So you have everything ready. You have rehearsals a lot. You have your costume ready. Everything is ready. Your audio is perfect. And you're like, okay, it's time to do it. You have a few things you have to remember for the D-Day. It's like you have to be super extra. When I mean extra is that when you cry, for example, on stage, don't just, it's going to be difficult with the microphone, but I'm going to try. Just like, don't just put your hands on your face and going like, you have to cry with your whole body. When you cry, it's like, like that. Just be an anime, really. And then if you are like lip syncing, you have to lip sync for your life, bitches. It's like RuPaul Drag Race all over here. But you really have to lip sync, and then because the people who are seeing your act from the front stage, and the people at the back of the venue should see as much as those in the front. So really express every word, show every emotion, like really go all out. You will never be ridiculous, I swear, because I've done some ridiculous shit on stage, but every time I went just all in, and you're never ridiculous when you're just so crazy, because people are actually really admire of that when you go all out. I mean, look at Jim Carrey. He's doing a business out of that. So yeah. Oh, actually, that's a video I want to show. Is it possible to show that video? Oh, yeah, okay, we could do that, no problem. Yeah, I'm going to show a little bit of my act, if it's okay for you. When I say by show must go on, well, you understand. If something happened on stage, like a stage props broke or something fell down, just act it out. Because I see so many cosplayers just lose their shit when something happened on stage. And then you see that something happened on stage. Because when you are just going with it, then some people come up to you after that and like, was it planned that your prop broke? And you're like, yeah, totally. I mean, I'm that pro, you know? And I'm gonna show that in that video before, because I had a massive, big, fucked up thing happening on stage at the ECG finals in Paris in front of 20,000 people. And I still won second place at the end. So even if shit happens, you can make it. So just stay in character and everything. Like, for example, if you know that your prop is kind of easily breakable, that you know that something might happen because you've tried many things and it's not working as smooth as possible, just have a plan B, like, okay, if this doesn't work, what can we do if this doesn't work? And for example, like I had in Kitana cosplay, I had those two big fans that was really fragile, and I wanted to break through a piece of paper. They was that fragile that I can go through a piece of paper. And I was like, if they break, what am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna stay in character and I'm gonna throw them out on the stage because I don't need them after that. So, and well, I was lucky they didn't break, but something else happened that I didn't plan. But I still, yeah, well. So stay in character, think of plan B. You usually stay in character when you've prepared for it, like you watch a lot of video of the characters. You've trained to walk like him, to act like him and everything. As silly as it sounds, it's really funny to do. Yeah, that's another act I have to show. Oh, there was a picture, not anymore. So, when you're on stage, you have to own the stage. It's like, it's your like, you've worked for months on your cosplay, even years sometimes, and you have 2 minutes or even 1 minute of glory. Take them. It's your time to shine, okay? It's your name on the screen. It's your time to shine. Really, you're here for a show, all right? So just have fun, really on the stage. It's yours for like 2 minutes. Show your hard work to the people. They need to see that. And when I say no empty stage, it's, for example, when people are doing quick change or something. Sometimes they take too much time behind the curtains, and it leaves like an empty stage. Like, for example, I would say, like, if there is like 5 seconds of empty stage, that's really max. Because above that, people start losing their attention. We are like goldfish. We have no time, like, attention. Like, goldfish go around the ball and they forgot everything. Humans are the same, trust me. And then have fun. That's the basic thing to say. It's as silly as it is. If you have fun, it will show, no matter what. Because when you're stressing and you don't know what to do and you're like shaking and everything, it shows on stage and you can't tell. Sometimes it's adrenaline, because I shake a lot on stage, but it's just because I'm so excited to be on stage. But when you're having fun, it shows, and it's so much fun also for the people watching you. They will remember you for that. All right? Well, that's one of the act too. I'm going to show you after that. And then congrats, your act is done. And either you fucked up or not, it's done. You did your best, and you should be proud of you, whatever happened, even though you fell on your face. Trust me, you should be proud of that too, because now you will be like, oh my God, if I fell and everything. But then a year after that, it's like, remember that time I fell on my face? That was so fun. I broke my teeth, yeah. All right. That other example I want to show. So when I forgot about that. When your act is done, whatever result of the contest is, even though if you won first place, you didn't win anything, you go to the judges and ask for feedback. It's always important, even though you think you did good, and you think you are first place, of course, then you did good. But they will always say, maybe one thing you have to correct, or they will say, bye-bye. Thank you for coming, though. they will say also good things. Like they will say, oh, but I really like that part of the act you did. It's always good to have good feedbacks and say, okay, so I was scared to do that dance, but they really like it, so maybe I should do that more in the future and everything. And because sometimes the judges you have in front are really specialized in dance and everything, and if they are good judges, because we know they are not all good, they will give you good feedback and constructive feedback, and they will say, but maybe next time you should like build your act like this or like this or like this. But don't come back to judges and ask like, why did I I'm sorry, why did I want something? Or like, don't come back to judges and ask that, because sometimes it's not because you didn't want something, you win because you were bad. It's just that other people were better. It's not mean that you are bad, all right? Because sometimes, for example, I can remember this costume really clearly. It was the C4 finals, and I remember clearly because the other contestant has really impressive and like with a lot of details costumes, and we went with those because we loved the game so much. But this piece of crap made me like sweat tears, I swear to God, because this is actual like a C-ray fabric, so it was a healthy suit. Anyway, and I remember the judges not even getting up off their chair to check out our costume because it was that simple costume. And we were like super pissed with my partner. We were like, well, we're gonna do our act and we're not gonna kick their ass. And we were like, yeah, so. And we did our act. And then after that, we received an award. And they came to us like, oh, you were so awesome. You were our favorite. And we were like, since the beginning. We were like, acts can make such a difference in your costume. Like, you can give small costume, smallish, because that piece of crap, smallish costume really stand out from everything. I always say to people, like, I'd rather give an award to, like, small, well-done costume with, like, an awesome acting than big-ass costume that can do nothing on stage. Because if you have a big-ass costume and you're just showing off, what's the point? Then just do a catwalk, just do modeling. That's not cosplay, for me at least, because cosplaying, well, sounds harsh, isn't it? I'm a mean person. All right. No, I really need internet for videos, if you don't mind. This is like a couple of my favorite acts, like from international people and some friends. And it's only for good example because I don't want to put people on the spot. The bad example are going to be my acts because I don't want to put people on the spot. Do you like watch big contests like ECG, C4, and everything? No? Well, you should. It's fun. Especially when there is Spanish on the chat. They're going crazy every time. Yes. I heard the ECG. Yeah. So, that's, what's that one? Yeah. So that act is a good example of good audio. The Loki cosplay we're gonna have here is Danish Lupin, and she's an awesome cosplayer. And do you remember the time that Tom Hiddleston went to a con and went to the con as Loki and went like, where's your Avengers now? And she used that audio and she took 2 days to actually clean the audio to make it good for the finals there. And also she's the best at actor she can. I mean, she's my idol in cosplay acting. Can you make it louder, please? Look how much, oh, sorry. Look how much she's lip-syncing every words of it. Like you can see, you don't talk normally like that with every mouth possible, but when you're acting, it's normal. You have to move your lips. And it was 20,000 people saying Loki for her. And like you can see, like so much stuff happened. Like she has armor falling off. She couldn't do the spin. Trust me, she was crying backstage after that. but she was so good. Like everybody loved it, and so see, like a lot of part of her costume falling off, but she kept going, and that's how you do it, in my opinion. This act, that's the one I talked to you about. Using Katy Perry music for Peter Pan.
You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Different DNA. They don't understand you. You're from a whole other world, a different dimension. You've opened my eyes, and I'm ready to go. Lead me into the light. Kiss me, kiss me, infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Take me, take me. Wanna be a victim, ready for passion. You're an alien. Your touch so fine, it's supernatural, extraterrestrial.
See how much she is moving her body. That's body language. This is how you do it. They are not speaking, they are not saying anything, but just by the body. They are going all out, and this is amazing. Also, they rehearsals like a shit ton of time before that. That's me. I was judging that contest, and I remember they were saying like they were doing Peter Pan, and they did not tell me what they were doing, and I was just so happy about it. Also, like I forgot to tell, like when you say like be aware of your costume, it's also like when you have big dresses and big stuff like that, use your costume for your act. If you're doing a princess, like use a skirt to fly around. If you have a cape, use it. Like you have a costume, show it off, you know. So you can show off all your seams and everything. Even if you know that, oh, that part is not that good. You don't care, like armor is falling off, everything is going wrong, but as long as you act it out, you can hide everything. Okay, next one, if it's okay. Okay, that's my act, and you're gonna clearly tell what have been wrong on it, because a big thing happened and I was not prepared for it, but still, some people came to me afterward like, it was planned because I just kept going. Also, I was desperate, so at some point I just gave in. And you don't have to do an exaggerating thing. Here, I just walk, and people are screaming. Sometimes it's just in the attitude, you know?
Finish her.
Yeah, bad timing, you know? Right? That's a mistake.
I always knew you look nothing like me.
Fatality.
right? What went wrong? Can you tell? Yeah, I picked it up with the rock. Never, just wait a second. Okay. It never happened, like the real souls never happened at any time. And then at that one moment, I saw it just to a throw. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? And I just kept going because I was so stressed because it's like the big finals. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Anyway, so even if I lose, at least I'm going to make the mark of the ECG, the one who's totally fucking off the stage, I think. And also, like, did you notice that my armor broke? Oh, no, it was part of the act. I just decapitated someone casually. But, like, the pieces here just fell off. And nobody noticed it, even not the judges. But, like, this is my point when you act it out all out, when you go straight for it. If something bad happened, nobody noticed it. You will notice it, and then you ask around, like, did you saw my armor falling off? And people will be like, oh, what? Then it's like, okay, that's good. Don't put yourself down. Like, if mistake happen, if your act doesn't go as planned, you're the only one who know that, because you're the only one who know how your plan is supposed to work. Okay, that's the C4 finals with Little Nightmare. It was an horror act, and we were super scared because horror is really difficult to put in an act because you have to put an ambience in like 2 minutes. So what makes it easier is with music and sound effects. And also light, when you can have blackout, ask for them, because it makes an ambience. It's really dark though. I hope you can see what's happening though. Oh, thanks. Especially when you have a costume like that, who hides your face. You have to use body language to actually express emotion. Because when you have your mask or something, you have to act out with your body to compensate the fact that you cannot see your face. Right? So I asked before if I could jump off the stage, because if you do that and you do not like tell the organizer or something, they will kill you. But yeah, and also like I could like the rules said I could use liquid, so we use blood. And if like without the blood, it would not have been as powerful the message, because again, Little Nightmare is not a so well-known game. Who knows Little Nightmare here, the game? That's not a lot of people compared to the number we are. So we had to make the story like understandable for everybody, and we spoiled like the entire plot of the game, we know, but we had to make her understand like how cute she is. So we make her with the nice music, and then oh, she's so cute, she's hugging a little thing, and then at the end she eats the bad person. So she's not that cute, and that's how she is in the game too. Okay, so this act is, the intro is super long, so I can't talk. The act was for the selection of a C4, and we did the Powerpuff Girls supervillain, and we were like, oh, we want to be funny, so we actually used a Taylor Swift song and changed the lyrics just to act it out, because we can't do that with those characters because they are so stupid. You cannot be too serious with those kind of characters.
Come up with a blink slow. What the? Say no more, my friend. I heard you call me Ulysses. How did you even get here? I am the solution to all your little girl's problem. No, seriously. How did you get here? Anyway, you always be so small. That's it. I got it with your sassy mouth. Get out. How can you do that, you say? No. Well, glad you asked. I really did it. So you lost again. Here we go. And you're the one to blame. Is that what I would say? That's what I would say. You had so many plans. So many stupid plans. And all of them have failed. All of them have failed. But you keep trying. And you're always falling. But don't you worry, I'm here by your side. Everything's gonna be alright. Cause a plan is on the way, wait. And the evil's gonna hate. We're just gonna fight. We're gonna fight. The intent is gonna break. And it's time to shake the fate. So be sure to make a day. We're gonna win this time. Hey, just think why we've been getting your butt kicked by the heroes and the other heroes. You could have been getting down to this sick beat. My dear friend, I've got an evil plan. And I'm like, oh my god, we finally gonna beat them and with you by my side. It's a hell of a ride, won't you come over? Here we gonna be mean. Cause our plan is on the way. We're just gonna break their face. Stop being lame. Yes, it's time to shake the face. So be sure to have a day. We're gonna fight them all. Drop them all.
All right, we had so much fun. Even those hills killed me, literally. Yeah, just wait a second. What am I about to say? I can't remember. Yeah, when you do funny things like that, you just make sure to not to inside joke. For example, if you do an act of League of Legends, you can do reference of the game, but remember those people do not know the game. So do not go to inside joke on it, because you will get like some people laughing, but not everybody. And if you're unlucky, like nobody in the judges play League of Legends, so your act is kind of fucked. Yeah, because as stupid as it sounds and as bad as it sounds, the result of the contest will depends on the judges. Because every judges have their abilities, every judges have not what they like, but what they prefer. Because when I'm judging, I try as much as possible to not pick the anime I like or something. I try to be really objective about it. Like, okay, this costume is good and everything. And also, do not think it's because your anime is or your thing is really obscure that you cannot win. For example, the year I was at ECG, the winners were the Switzerland group, and the Switzerland group did Krampus, which is a really not known thing, movie, but they won a big ass competition. So don't think that because you're doing like a really obscure thing, you will never get into competition or contest. That's not true. I'm saying that because I have a friend who do believe 100% in that. I'm like, no. If you if you brought good content, you will always be loved. Yeah. Next.
World Cosplay Summit 2017.
This
From
is like
China,
one of the acts. You probably saw it. It has been viral for a while. It's the winners of WCS like the year before. It's the China group. And I wanted to show this act. Can you go a little bit louder on the video? I wanted to show this act because it's a really like well-rehearsed fight act. When you wanted to fight on stage, go really like contact, because I saw somebody like going like,
and Yokushu from
but like
Blood,
actually fight.
the
And the
Last
best way to
Vampire.
really fight strongly is to rehearsals. And you rehearsals again and again and again. This is not something you prepared the day before, sadly. A good act, a good fight act. And this one is the best of the best I ever seen. So I want to show it to you. That's it. I mean, also like they use like yeah. Wait a sec on that. They use like, for example, when you want to get aspiration, also look at magic tricks, magic shows and everything, because you might get easy trick to do on stage. For example, they use like, you cannot have blood on stage, obviously, and no throw blood on stage will be cool, but you cannot. And so they use like serpent, like a really like paper thing to make blood explode, which give the absolute same effect without ruining the stage for the other contestant to go in. And so, and also, I mean, so people say, oh, but my costume is not good enough to go on contest. They want WCS with a Sailor Fuku costume, like a simple uniform, like Japanese uniform. Can you just imagine like the biggest international convention ever, and they won with a uniform? Okay, the other one is kind of complex, but you know, that's the idea. And because the act was so good, especially when you go to Asian convention and Japanese contest and Asian contest, the act is like, it's so important for them. Like you go to China, the contest is like, every contestant goes 15 minutes on stage, and there are like 20 on stage, and they're all doing something. It's going everywhere, every sense. You don't know where to look. And so it's basically like that. And it's really, like for example in Spain, they love stage props. They have stage props everywhere. You know it's a Spanish act when there is thousands of props are happening on stage. That's the thing though. And you can go to Lithuania and they love dancing. They do tons of dancing acts. It really depends on the country you are. I cannot tell what Czech like. They like to work with woods, apparently, from what I saw with the context. They love to work with woods, apparently. Yeah, the last one. This one is Polymanga. So it's in Switzerland. It's a globalista contest. It's twin cosplay. I think you know twin cosplay. The twin cosplayers that won also World Cosplay Summit. And he's using the screen because he's solo on stage. And he's putting like the screen to real life at some point. You can do that, like having, for example, an enemy happening on the screen, and then put it back to life on stage with a prop or something.
Hey there, new hunter. Welcome to Astera. This land is full of dangers, but don't worry, I'll be your partner. Be careful. It's not over yet. It has to be around here.
There you go. That's one way to do it. It went super extra, but he's always doing extra stuff when he can't play. Yeah. The last thing I want to tell is. See, I have an attention of a goldfish. I can't remember what I was saying. Well, I will come back later. Do you have questions? I will put the light on back. Oh, thank you. Do you have any questions? I'm not a murderer, I swear. Not today. Yes?
I just want to ask, what did you like the most on the cosplay competition?
What do you like the most? Meeting people.
No, which cosplay act in the cosplay competition?
Today?
Yeah,
It's like giving like the what's going to be first and everything. No, what I like the most? Really like the Cinderellas. They were really good because they were acting so great, and even if it was in Czech, and I can't speak Czech, and I never seen the movie, I got the story out of it. But it's easy, we'll say, it's Cinderella, so even though it's well known and everything. But I really liked also the Avatar group, because I like Avatar, but it's also because how they play it. And I really like that group because even when they came for the judging, they were acting it out, like the characters. They were like Zuko, and they're judging like this all the time, and it was like great. And we really like when people are giving all in, but like when they are not a bother to other people, because we saw, for example, the Deadpool cosplayers around the con going to other people and annoying other people. It's like you have to know the boundaries to not annoy other people. But yeah, this is what I love the most, when it could be a simple act, but as much as you do the characters, it's awesome. Like, yeah. I really love the act today. Like, for example, like the big Diablo thing. I never expect to have a funny act out of it because it's a big costume, scary costume. I was like, okay, she's gonna go on stage, be rare and everything. And then I saw static shower, and I was like, what? So it was a good idea. I liked it. I like to be surprised. Other question? Don't be shy. You came all this way. Might as well talk to me. Yes, tell me. I'm coming closer.
I just wanted to ask if you did any performance in this cosplay, because I love it.
Oh, I did actually. Maybe we can find it. I did a duo, and I did a solo because I want to wear it again. I did search for facts. So like the facts, Sweeney Todd. Oh, it's my research. Yeah, of course you'll find it. Oh yeah. Oh no, that's the no, below. That's the one. Yeah, that's me. So if you want to see it, yeah.
Such a nice young friend. What's his name? Has no, it can't be true. Places need a lift. Begs to be erased. The creator's thrift is a gift. If you get my drift. Seems that
Example, we use the timing of the song to move, especially Sweeney Todd. Well, in the movie, it doesn't move much. It's like a dead soul. She's doing all the thing. Only when you talk about murder, of course, you wake up. But for example, I'm going to talk over it if it's okay for you. This particular person I worked with was really uncomfortable on stage. And so I forgot. So I'm going to talk about this real quick. Doing a vals on stage is mostly a bad idea. But if you, especially if you're lip syncing, you try as much as possible that the person that is talking is in front. Like the people can't see it. So we tried to do a valse, and we did it. It was not the best idea. Judges didn't like it that much, but because we didn't have we rehearsals like one time only, because she's working a lot and she didn't have the time to do the costume rehearsals. So I did the audio. I did most of the thing, so I couldn't help her a lot. Also, I cut the music, so I could actually do the entire thing. It's not cut in the middle of the music, so I could have the ending I wanted.
You never know if it's going to run. No, the clergy is really too coarse and too mean. But always arrives overdone. Come again when you have judge on the menu.
Here we go. So basically, she was like, and that's the thing I will tell you to do. If you're doing a duo with someone and she say, oh no, for the rehearsals, I'm not going all out, I will do that on the D-Day. No, that's not how you do it. Because if you want to know how your partner is going to react, you want to know how he's playing, you want to know how he's doing the stuff. Because if he's doing like not good enough, you have to fix that. And if the D-Day you are going all out, while during the rehearsals you were going like really slow, you're gonna make the other one wondering what's going on, and you're gonna make him lose his feet. So every rehearsals you should do all out, like 100%, like it was a D-Day. It's really important, so you can actually make everybody pretty prepared for everything. And so an example, like this girl like is really not comfortable on stage. So what I did to help her is actually show her what I will do as Mrs. Lovett. So I will do her part, and she will look at me and say, oh, okay, you will do like that, okay, then. Because sometimes she was like, but what do I do now? I don't know. And then, well, I have an idea. You ask first, of course, because this is kind of I will show you how to do it. But you ask first, like, do you want me to show how I will do it? And she's like, yeah, of course. And then you do together, and you work together. And that's how it happened. Okay, did that answer you? Okay, fine. Do you have another question? Guys. It's okay if you don't. Do you have like a question if you wanna about your act in the future? Like if you wanna do an act in the future, we can talk about that. You're looking like no. Why you say no like that? Because you're too scared to go on stage. Partially? You feel awkward on stage. Why that? It's going to be a psychological thing now. I don't know. Thank you. Well, it's okay to not act as yourself, because when you're a cosplayer, you're not yourself. Well, I am not a murderer. Like you will meet me in real life. Yeah, you will cross me on the street. I'm the biggest potato you will never meet. Like I am a dog. I walk into I fall all the time. I walk into walls and everything. I am really awkward and really like, but for real, like really. And it's so like people who don't know I do cosplay. I show them my videos and my stuff I do, and they're like, "It is you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." But because I know that when I am on stage, I am the character. And that's like a wall, a kind of barrier I put in myself. Like, people see on stage a character. They don't see me. Yeah, of course, some friends see me. But they see the character. Because when you're talking about a contest, you will say, oh, you remember that Jessica Rabbit? They always talk about the character, not the cosplayer. Of course, if they know you, they will say, oh, remember what Mike did on stage or something? And then... but most of the time they will say, oh, you remember that Jessica Rabbit, she was so good and everything. They will always remember the character, not you. Only if you break the character. But really, I don't show the most awkward thing I did, because when at the really beginning of a cosplay, I did some really stupid shit. And even now, I do really awkward acts. It happens, shit happens, but maybe it's on the internet forever, but as soon as you can brush it off, it's okay. Like, we are here to have fun. We are just like really big geeks in costume at the really beginning of all this. And then we start to get like guests and stuff and then popularity, all that shit. But it doesn't mean anything. We're just, at the end of the day, we're all in your room, like making our costume, watching Netflix, like everybody. That's what I do. So, yeah, you should not put stress on you. Just, if you're like feeling like you want to go on stage, but you're too scared, just break it, that barrier, once for all. Yeah, just jump. And you will realize you just jump for 2 centimeters. So it's just go for it. It's like you will regret it to not have done it, then regret mistakes. Like always like ask for forgiveness, then for permission. It's always my motto. Yeah, come in. Nope. All right. But if you want to talk, I have a booth. You're really welcome to talk, or you come to take my my card at my cosplay booth and send a message. I'm always on my phone because I am a geek, and so I can answer you. So no problem. All right? Yes. Tell me. If my partner freezes, I just act it out myself. Like, I had that happening one time, like with the Sweeney Todd girl. We did the act one more time, and she actually like froze because, I don't know, like a prop fell or broke. And I just like took her, shake her, because Sweeney Todd was saying like, oh, we're gonna make pies out of people. And then she realized that she was time to move. And I just took her and started dancing. And then when you just like shook your friend, really, you just go up to them and then, but not really, but, that's how it works. You just like reboot them, like, you know, start with them again over. It's like that. But if something like that happened, if they froze, it will not happen if you have prepared for it. Like you just say, okay, you know what? If that happened, we're gonna do that. That happened, we're gonna do that. Just be prepared for it. As much as you take time to take your costume, take time to make your act, because this is the final point of the big thing. So, especially when big contests. For example, like it's 50-50, and I saw so many awesome costumes not win anything because of the act was so bad. And C4, it's like 60-40. And you have even a contest that is like 80-20, so 20 costume, 80 act. So it depends on that. Also, like check the rules for that, the percentage. So you know, like for example, if you go to Euro Cosplay is like 20% act, 80% costume. So if, for example, you have a costume that you love, but you don't have an amazing act that goes with it, you can go to Euro Cosplay with it. And for example, there is also a contest in Madrid, ECL, which is 100% costume. So you don't have to do an act with it. So if you have a big-ass costume, you have no idea what to do on stage with it, then just go for it. That's how it works. That's how I work. That's how I roll. And also, like, most of the time, especially here apparently, when you sign up for normal contest, you also can say, like, I want to try ECG. Just catch it. It's like, it's not a big change for you, but just you have like tried how it is to enter a big competition. And also I will say, like, the most stressful part is the selection. When you've been selected, if you have the luck to and if you work hard enough for it, the finals is really not stressful. It's just a big bunch of people happy to be there all together. They have made it, they're like, yeah, and they're just, the stress happens when it's the finals. But other than that, you just meet friends from all over the world. Like, for example, here I've met some friends. I've seen some friends that I have met from ECG, and I see them again today. I'm like, oh, yeah, how are you doing, and everything. So it's great. It's fantastic. I push so much people to do contests because sometimes it's disappointing, and sometimes you realize also what people you can do contests with and not. There are some friends I barely talk to, but I know if I want to do some contest with them, I can go to them and they will already be high up, like, yeah, let's do that. And then we do the contest, everything was fine, and then we don't talk that much again. But it's not because we don't like each other, it's just that because we go separate ways, it's the life, you know. is different. And I have some friends that I really love. I spend 100 times with them. I know I cannot do act with them because we don't work the same. It's just try to find a good partner. And also it's good to try out solo because you don't realize how much you can do. Really, trust me. You have so much power in yourself that you hunch back because of life and everything. But you have so much power in you that you don't realize. Sometimes I look back at all what I did, and I'm like, damn. And 3 years ago, I was just playing League of Legends. But yeah, so I hope you like this workshop. I hope you learned something for it. Do not hesitate to come by my booth or right now. I'm always available. I'm Macky Cosplay, if you want to remember. I have a Facebook page, I have an Instagram. You can text me, send me a message anytime. I'm always answering, not maybe right in the day, but always answering at some point. And if you want advice, I'm always, always, always available. All right? Thank you for coming. Means a lot. Yay.